What's up, guys? I'm Harrison.
And I'm Colin, and this is the Car Report. Today we're going to be talking about
The news. Today, specifically, we're going to be mentioning some of Ford's new vehicles. Colin's going to bring you guys up to speed on the GT, and then I'll be wrapping up the video with the new RS. You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. So the past week I've been looking at the 2017 Ford GT. I mean, I love the way it looks. It's phenomenal. Especially the pictures beforehand and now since it was debuted at the Detroit Auto Show. I mean, it looks great. I mean, it's kind of got the 1918 Spider P1 kind of feel.
And it still kind of looks like its predecessor. Right. You know, it keeps that feel.
Right. It's fitted with a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo. It's going to make around 600 horsepower, weighs around 3,000 pounds.
That's pretty good. Power to weight.
Yep. The only thing I'm kind of not upset about, but I'm missing, is that V8, that American supercar feel. But I mean, 600 horsepower out of the box. That's like,
yeah.
People said it's a full race car engine, just put into it's amazing. The only thing is it's basically the old body with new things, new accents, but it's a completely different car when you're talking about drivetrain. It's got a fully functioning rear spoiler, made mostly of aluminum and carbon fiber. And I guess my only question is, what do you have to say about the V6?
I definitely like the power that it puts down. I'm not complaining about that at all. I do miss the V8 a little bit, just because to be able to throw two giant turbos on a big old V8 and to make 1,800 horsepower, you know, those videos you see on YouTube of, 15 and 1,800 horsepower GTs, stomping, running great times at the Texas Mile. We'll have to wait to see what the future holds in the aftermarket realm for this already twin-turbo V6. There will be stuff to do, like ECU and stuff, but you kind of miss that V8 naturally aspirated engine that you could do so much to and was just so pure sounding.
Rumor has it the reasoning behind Ford's engineering with the V6 was to help it compete at those 24 12-hour races such as Le Mans that the GT40 made its name at, and got dubbed the Ferrari killer in the 60s. It kind of has that, like I was saying, that 918 P1 kind of feel, and those are cars that are $900,000 plus. It falls into the class, however, of the McLaren 650S, the Huracan, and the GT3 RS. And I mean, the most expensive one is the 650S, and that's coming in around $270,000.
You're getting the performance capabilities of the 918 Spider and the P1, which are $1 million cars, but it's $400,000. Doesn't have the hybrid capabilities, but it's still in the class of the 650S. So you're getting the performance value of a 918 or a P1 at kind of a middle ground cost.
It's kind of it's in its own class, would you say that? So that kind of gets me going on, what does that mean for Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche? Are they gonna come out with a car to compete with it, or are they just gonna kind of blow it off and say, we're better, we're coming up with cars that we've already done that, we've already been there, but
I think that, for it being so rumored right now, that we're honestly just going to have to wait and see. And then hopefully when it comes out in 2017, we'll bring you guys an update video when it's debuted. And, hopefully maybe get some of like our film on it and, get you guys some hands-on perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see it driving around, if it will. I mean, the old motor itself cost $35,000 to replace if anything went wrong. This is supposedly an out-of-the-box race car motor. So what does that mean if you blow the engine? If someone's buying this car that has the money, what happens.
Yeah.
That could get old really fast if you have to replace the motor for,
Whatever reason.
My only problem was right now that engine's debuted in the Daytona prototype in the Rolex series, and those races are a lot of stop and go. My thought was, how do the turbos spool up from stop and go? Supposedly that Ford has fitted it with a low friction valve train, giving an instant engine response, but I'm leery to see if that's true or not. But that's it on the GT for this week. What did you get on the RS?
Not quite the supercar, more of the practical family car. Just kind of a quick rundown because, obviously this car's already been debuted. You can find most of its information pretty easily. It's not as rumored. Some big things is it's a direct competitor with the Golf R, directly because they both are all-wheel drive. Both putting down pretty good amounts of power. The Ford Focus RS in particular, costing $35,000, makes 350 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. It's putting it down through a dynamic torque vectoring all-wheel drive system, 6-speed manual. It's got one twin scroll turbo making 23.2 psi. So you're going to be building quite a bit of boost. It's obviously very quick in that all-wheel drive realm. Good amount of power. There's been no official curb weight released because there's so many options that vary between it. Whether you want to go full leather, full sound system, things like that add quite a bit of weight.
That adds up quickly.
But to have 350 horsepower, all-wheel in a hot hatch, and they've already stated it can do this 0 to 60 in 4.7. I can't imagine it weighs that much.
I guess my question is, you have the WRX, you have the STI, and that, as we all know, has a big aftermarket scene.
Yeah.
The ST right now, that's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it, but obviously on a much larger, not a much larger scale, but it's kind of Big Brother, if you will.
Yeah.
It's making more power. It's all-wheel drive. It's got a drift mode.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm asking is, what do you think in that WRX STI kind of, because it's in that range.
Yeah.
Even though those aren't hot hatches anymore, but
it costs about as much as an STI. The WRX is about $10,000 cheaper. I think just because it's the same 2.3 liter 4-cylinder shared with the Mustang EcoBoost. The Mustang EcoBoost has been around for a little while, so it does have an aftermarket realm per se. So I think that we're definitely going to be able to see some bigger turbos, some ECU upgrades and things of that nature. But I mean, this car already comes with a bigger intake, performance exhaust, a bigger intercooler than the EcoBoost. So I mean, it's going to be built to handle more power than the EcoBoost. But I think it'll be able to piggyback off of the EcoBoost's like access ports and things of that nature.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A very, very cool car.
Yeah, it's just like a sub $40,000 car that you can put the family in and do everyday things, and then also have some fun, driving home from work and getting down on it and doing some highway pulls or whatever you want to do. And it's a great car with the all-wheel drive and all of its features just for almost everything. It checks all the boxes.
Alright guys, well, remember to like, comment, or subscribe. This video is going to be available in our news playlist. Any feedback would be awesome.
Yes.
And until next time, I'm Colin.
I'm Harrison, and thanks for watching.